Virgo, it's time to say whatever it is that you need to say, and kind of do it now or right after this full moon that we're going to be talking about coming up in Aquarius. And actually, yeah, let's just go over the full moon, and the title of your video is Say It. Mercury's in your sign right now, and there's something going on. It's always impressive that for some reason, I feel like every time some version of work is being, I'd never want to stereotype you, basically. But it's, again, this full moon is falling in Aquarius, but in your house of everyday life and practical service. So if you need to say something, Mercury in your sign, Mars also in your house, like something's got to give, something's got to go. With Venus. So this reading is for the full moon that we have in Aquarius. This is for Virgo rising mostly, but can be watched by Virgo sun as well as Virgo moon. And this could be something lovely that you have to say as well, or something. It's something that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone as far as communication is concerned. But I would love for you to utilize the full moon and recognize that stereotypically we all turn into the werewolf. We know what that's like. We know when it's like, I have something to say and I'm only crying because I have to say it. Like, that's okay. That's okay. Although you don't think that you're allowed to be emotional, you are definitely allowed to be emotional. You're definitely allowed to have your feelings. And naturally, when the sun is in your 12th house, you can be a little tired. You can be a little sad, a little nostalgic, a little emotional, a little like, will I ever accomplish the thing? It's like I've already died. You will. You will. Even if it feels very chugga, even if it feels like things are slowing down and it's just, ooh, child. Okay, let's deep dive. Full moon in your 6th house, everyday life, practical service. Mercury in your sign. Whatever you have to say to the moon around this time. Talk about it in your mirror work, however you do your work with yourself and your inner self, your subconscious self, your unconscious self. Whether it's journaling and free writing and say, what is it that I need to let go of, and just like keep writing until it can't write anymore. See what happens in that capacity. But Venus being retrograde over here in your 12th house of soul purpose, healings, closures, coming homes, endings and beginnings, it can just feel a little bit like the work that you have to do in yourself is monumental. We're always going to have work to do. There's always going to be something to do, Virgo. There's always going to be something to accomplish. There's always going to be something to weed, to dust, to take care of. It's just like you always have to have a meal, a few meals a day. There's always going to be something happening. The only constant is change. So know that. If some of you are interested in teaching or taking a course, some version of higher education, start to do some research into that. And the word perpetual student is coming into my brain, but if you being in your highest vibration is you in your library studying, then do that more. Do that more. I want that for you. With Neptune and Saturn retrograde in our house of relationships, this is our opposite sign. So although we are very grounded, Virgo, and very centered and very analytical and, mutable earth energy, so when we learn something, we like to share it. The way that you are attracted to other people are probably like, you like more spiritual, more feeling people, more, even if you're divine masculine or divine feminine presenting, you're like your divine partner to have a little bit more of the woo-woo than you do. But what we desire in others is really something that we have to nourish in ourselves. So use the moon. Talk to the moon like it's your best friend, honey. Because, the North Node just went into Aries. And this is a big house. The 8th house is transformation, death, rebirth. It's the Phoenix run house. And for you to have that run by Aries, it's like, I don't know, if some of you just like impulse purchased property before or something like that, or just like, it's big dick energy, but just kind of like, no, I signed that. Why did I sign that? Don't sign that. Have somebody take a look at it. We're going to have a Mercury going retrograde as well later on this month. The day that the sun goes into your sign, Mercury goes retrograde. So definitely look at, this full moon is happening on the 1st or the 2nd, depending where you are in the world. I want you to So that's a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I want you to look at the next work week as having this conversation, whatever it is that you need to say. The week after, the next fortnight after that. And then when we have the new moon coming up a few weeks from now, we'll be at the very end of your 12th house. It'll be at like 23 degrees of Leo. That'll be the time to be manifesting. That'll be the time to looking into like, okay, I'm releasing something, I'm letting something go, I'm saying something, I'm creating a new boundary, I'm creating more space for something else. Something is within my space that should not be there, that doesn't serve my most authentic timeline, so I'm removing it or taking it and putting it over here so that we're making space for whatever we're manifesting to bring in for our soul's purpose. And with the North Node and our house of shared possessions, this is like partnerships coming in, healthy partnerships coming in, professional partnerships, home partnerships, like all good things like that. So although Aries is the I am, and this is a very individualized transit, this is something that you will bring your full self to the table with whatever the situation is, and that being will bring their full self to the table. So it'll be very individualized and very equal partnerships. So if you have to say something to a boss, to a coworker, to someone in your everyday life, or even if this is an addiction, talk to it like it's an entity. Because that addiction is not you. It's not you. Some of you don't want to work as hard. Okay, we're going to talk about work. We're really going to talk about work in the private cafe. So I'm going to shut this down now. I'll start with cards, which some of you, I'll pull them first and then I'll just present them in the video. I won't do a full pull in the video. I'll just have the cards and show them in the video. But in my private Patreon group, we're just going to talk about work and how everything on this planet is equal parts ambrosia and poison. So if work is becoming an addiction, or if we're displacing some of our emotions into our professional life, let's look at that. All right, I'll see you in there. Love you.